Hello, I'm Dr. Phyllis Geneva Bivens Hudson, author of Flying on Broken Wings, which is a memoir that is about the turbulent life of me as a young girl struggling to become a woman in a place where I had been thrust into someone else's messed up world. The book chronicles life for me from the time I was less than a year old through adulthood. It explores a variety of themes, including homelessness, hunger, abuse, education, and finally a celebration of life on the other side of that trauma. I decided to share my story because when those awful things were occurring, there was no one with whom I could share. Because I followed one basic tenet from our home, which was, what happens in this house stays in this house. Therefore, what happened to me on a number of occasions remained with me. Even my mother went to her grave never knowing any of the atrocities I had experienced. And over the years, I have thought a great deal about how much I wanted to release the pain, the anguish that comes from holding on to something too long. I needed to release it, and so I did. I did so to help others find their voice where I was not able to find mine. I did it to help those who may have been silenced for the reason mentioned or for some other reason. Once I told my story, I felt that sigh of relief. The only regret is that those who preyed on me are no longer members of the world, and therefore I could never confront them. However, my hope is that by telling my story, perhaps it will encourage someone else to come forward and face their own demons, their predators, their perpetrators, those who have betrayed them or violated them in some fashion or other. For me, the betrayal and violations were so deeply rooted in me, causing so much pain until it was very difficult getting it to the surface and finally on paper. In fact, once I began writing my book, it took me 17 years to complete it from the time I started back in 2003 until its completion during COVID-19 in 2020. Now that this work is done, I've been strengthened and have begun writing my second book, which will be a sequel to the first one, except the second installment will course through the relationships I experienced, taking my audience from the very first one to the most significant one, which is where it all stops, with the man who has been in my life as my friend for 30 years and my husband for 26 years. I hope you will enjoy reading on Flying on Broken Wings. And if by chance you are flying on your own wings, soar higher than intended and further than expected, you can do it. I did it.